While someone is trying to perform auto wiring, there is a very good chance that they may end up creating circular dependency. Inside this lecture, let's try to understand what is the circular dependency and how to avoid the same. Here, I have an example where there is a car bin and there is an engine bin. Inside the car bin, as usual, I'm trying to perform the auto wiring by using engine bin. So my car bin is dependent on the engine bin. But let's imagine one of the new developer or one of the junior developer, he tried to perform the vice versa of this dependency inside the engine bin as well. Inside the engine bin, if you see, the auto wiring is being done with the help of car bin. So here car is dependent on the engine bin, and similarly engine is dependent on the car bin. With this setup, let's try to understand what is going to happen. When my Spring IOC container, it is trying to create the object or bean of car, it will check this constructor injection and it will understand, okay, this car has a dependency on the engine bin. That's why it will first try to create the bean of engine before car bin. With that assumption, next what is going to happen? The Spring IOC container will go to the engine bin, and inside the engine bin, while it is trying to create the bean of engine, it saw that this engine has a dependency on the car bin. So it will go and try to create the car bin. So this kind of circular movement is always going to happen continuously like a loop. After some time, the Spring IOC container, it is going to throw a runtime exception with the name unsatisfied dependency exception. There is no technical solution to fix this problem. The only solution is the developer has to be very careful and they need to avoid defining these kind of circular dependencies. That's why when you're trying to perform auto wiring in your real applications, you need to be very cautious and don't try to end up creating these kind of circular dependencies. Let's see the demo of this circular dependency very quickly. I created a new Spring Maven project with the name example 8 to show you the demo of circular dependency. Inside this example 8, as of now, we have the beans related to the coffee shop and coffee implementation. Let me delete all of them. Followed by, I'm going to create a new class with the name engine. On top of this engine class, I'm going to mention at component. Followed by, I'm going to create one more Java class with the name vehicle. On top of this class also, I'm going to mention component annotation. Now I have two different beans readily available. As a next step, I'll try to define the dependencies inside these classes. Under this vehicle class, let me create a final variable of type engine. The variable name is engine itself. Next, I'm going to create a constructor which is going to accept engine as the input parameter. On top of this constructor, I'm going to mention at auto-void annotation. The same kind of setup I'm going to do inside the engine class. First, let me create a final variable of type vehicle. Once this variable is created, I'm going to create the constructor. On top of this constructor, I'm going to mention auto-void annotation. Let me save these files. Followed by, I'll try to open my Spring main class. Here first, I'll try to load the bean of vehicle. Followed by, I'm going to load the bean of engine data type. Let me fix the compilation errors here. On the left hand side, first I need to mention the data type as vehicle followed by variable name as vehicle. Similarly here I need to mention engine followed by variable name as engine itself. Let me get rid of this system.out.println. Anyway, we're going to face runtime exception and our println statements, they are never going to be printed. Let me save this file and do the build. After the build, let me execute this file in debug mode, and with that we're going to get an runtime exception saying that unsatisfied dependency exception. If you can scroll down on the same console, you will have more details about the exception. Here the root cause says error creating bean due to bean concurrently in creation exception. Inside the console also we have a clue saying that is there any unresolvable circular reference or an asynchronous initialization dependency. To resolve this issue, we just have to comment the dependency in one of the file. In our scenario, engine is a correct file to remove the dependency. But I'm not going to remove this. I'm going to keep this code as it is so that you can try this in your local system as well. Please go to the example 8, and if you try to execute the code inside the example 8, you should be able to see the demo of circular dependency. As I said before, There is no technical solution for this problem. Only the developer has to be very cautious while declaring the dependencies between the beans. Since you are going to work inside the real applications, I just wanted to share this very important information so that you don't worry when you see this kind of exception in your real applications.